Hi, and welcome to the 21 Days of Encouragement, the workout series. Today is day 13 of the workout series, and friends, I have with me today my co-host, my anchor, my wife, my bride, Kristen Chavis, and we're just going to talk about some things today, deal with some things. We're going to work out some issues. You know, there are some issues and some things that I have in my life, which is now our life. And, there were some things that, honestly, Kristen is better at than me. And we've talked about those for the past few days. When it comes to making lists, she's great with making a list. She'll put the list together, and, even when we're grocery shopping, I'll ask her, okay, baby, you got your list? What's on it? And I can go get it. I can go.
I stick to the list.
Yes. See, I'm the one who walks down the aisle, and I say, babe, all right, let's get this. She's like, no, it's not on my list. No. So, we're dealing with some things here in this series that may be a little bit uncomfortable, that may be a little bit unfamiliar to some of you, but I guarantee you, I promise you that if you want to succeed in the next level, in the new year, in the next phase of your life, it will be imperative that you begin to work on some of these things. I have even noticed in my own life as I prepare for the next stage, the next phase, and the next thing, that it is becoming increasingly more important that I focus on some of these things, that I do some of these things. Following a list or making a list even was not one of my priorities in life. But again, as we look at Genesis and we saw how God had priority, he said, okay, I'm going to do all of these things. And he started working, his list. And so, friends, I know you may be saying, well, James, I get all of that. I've been trying it. That's what I've been dealing with for the past couple of days. But you can't possibly add any more on. I know some of you may feel a little overwhelmed, like, okay, I don't know if I can do it anymore. But just know, friends, you can make it. You can finish this race. You can go all the way to day 21 and build better habits. Create a better surrounding for your dreams to come to life. Friends, let's go ahead and jump into day 13. Genesis, we're going right back to Genesis chapter 1. And we're going to start at verse number 3. Let's start at verse 3. It says, "And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day." Verse 6, "And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and he gathered, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw it was good." Wow. Now, babe, why don't you kind of just take point there and just lead us through this and tell us what we're dealing with today.
So, here in Genesis, we're going to talk about organization.
Wow.
My husband has already talked about having a schedule and how God had everything scheduled and divided up into different days. And on those days, he did various things like separate the firmaments and make dry land and let there be light. And at the end of each day, he said it was good. But also we need to see in these set days, these scheduled days, he also had everything organized.
Yes.
So he started out with let there be light because we need light to see. And he separated and named the light. He named it light, and then he named it darkness. And he also divided the heaven from the earth and the sea and the land. There were certain things that he did each day. So God wants us to see here that we not only need to have a schedule and a routine,
Yes.
but we need to have organized things to do in our day. We need organization not only in our personal lives, but in our spiritual lives. I heard someone today, not today, but I mentioned to someone today, I heard something so profound about how we need to schedule God in our day. You know, many of us, we get burned out and we feel like we're lacking because we don't have enough time, we feel like, to pray with God, or we're so tired, or we have so much to do. But when we schedule God in our day, when we organize our day and put God in our schedule, then our days will run so much smoother. Maybe you don't have time in the morning. Make sure you do it at night or on your lunch break. Even if it's 5 to 10 minutes, it makes a difference. And even in our home, organization has made things run so much smoother. All the little things that don't quite have somewhere to go. You know, we invested in wicker baskets. Some of them can be pricey. Some of them you can find on sale. But it really helped my peace of mind and helped us organize things even better. Storage baskets, storage boxes.
Yes.
Really helped us get the clutter out of our home. Some of us, we just need to declutter and organize our personal lives, our personal affairs, but we also need to declutter in our spiritual lives. And that time, our spiritual time with God is so important. You know, it makes a difference between running on fumes and being on full. And if you've ever been in a place, or you're in a place where you're running on fumes, it's not the best place to be. It's not the most fulfilling place to be, because at any moment it feels like you're just going to give up, or you're just going to be exhausted. But organizing your time during your day to make the best out of your day, to make the most out of your day, really makes a difference. And like my husband has said before, you may not get to everything on your list. You may not get everything done, but you still need to say, you know what, God, this was a good day. You still need to end your day with God, or spend some type of time with God. And Bae, you were saying that, you know, you had organization that only went so far in your life.
Yeah.
He was mentioning, as we were talking, that, you know, he didn't have a problem with organizing his DVDs and his sock drawer and underwear drawer, but it kind of stopped at a certain point. And as you see in the scripture, God didn't stop at just dividing the firmaments. He went ahead and named each one. And he not only named them, but he went even further and divided them up even more. You know, some tasks are bigger tasks that may cause us to be on them for more than one day. It's okay to have a project that lasts for more than one day. Or maybe it's something that you need to do over time, like saving money, or you know, fixing on a house. It's something that's more long term than short term. And God had these goals. He had this plan in his mind. He organized the things, and he said it was good. And as you continue to read through the creation story, the creation description, he had everything. He did everything in a specific order where this came first, because if this didn't come first, then we wouldn't be able to do this. You know, if you didn't have the seas, then you wouldn't be able to have the fish. If you didn't have the land, then you wouldn't be able to have the animals. If you didn't have the air, then the birds wouldn't have anywhere to fly, or the heavens as it's called. We need to put things in place and in order. And I know, especially as women, and even for men, having things in order, having things clean, having things run smoothly brings peace in your life. And for us to recognize that God is a God of order and not of disorder makes an impact in our lives.
Yes.
Because if there's no order in our lives, then we don't respect the order that God has for our life.
Yes.
Because if there's no order and no discipline, it takes discipline to keep things organized. It takes discipline to stick to the schedule and stick to the task. It takes discipline for that. And discipline and organization go hand in hand. I recently found out that, people have, cleaning schedules and cleaning routines, or they have routines for certain things. And not that my parents weren't good parents, but I really didn't have the mentorship or the leading that say, baby, you should wash clothes once a day, because if you don't, then they're going to pile up on you. Or you shouldn't just wait till one day to wash all the clothes, then you'll get overwhelmed. And even with cleaning, you can have daily tasks, and then you can have set tasks for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so you don't get overwhelmed. Many of us are getting overwhelmed with cleaning, with the everyday task of life, because we don't have a set schedule or routine that'll make things run much smoother. We need to have a set schedule or routine in our prayer life, in our spiritual life, and also in our personal life. And that brings so much peace, because everything is in order.
Yes. And friends, even when, as she talks about order, and routine, you have to kind of set in order. She was talking about a cleaning routine, and I remember one time reading that it would be a good practice to organize things to where you start your cleaning in the front during the week. You cleaning up the front of the house at the beginning of the week, and by the end of the week you've made it to the back of the house, and that way throughout the week the entire house has gotten cleaned. Then the next week the next time the week starts over, you're at it again, and so you're organized in where you're starting, how you're going, and each room is getting done, each room is being cleaned. But it starts with organization. And even Kristen was talking about the baskets. One thing that my parents did at one point try and teach me, but maybe I never fully grasped, is that everything has a place. And for me, Kristen will tell you, when I come home and I take my keys out of my pocket, my wallet, whatever, I just will put it wherever I am. I'll put it in the front room, on the coffee table, on the desk, or on the ottoman in the den. I'll put it, I'll put them wherever I am at that moment. And then I may try and come back and find them there later, or maybe she's moved them to the basket. But friends, there is a method to the organization. Right. There is a method to the madness. I remember, as Kristen talked about us decluttering and moving things out of the house and putting things away. When I need to go and find something that we've put out of the house in the storage area, it helps me to remember, okay, I put this in this box. Now, to be honest, the box may not be organized, except for, honestly, like my toolbox, I just threw all the tools in a box, and so I can just go in and pull out, different things and find what I need. But I remember, okay, I put this in a blue box, I put this in a gray box, and it helps me to remember box colors or shapes or sizes. And so, organization flows in so many different levels, even in my driving. I remember there was a point where when gas was really high, I used to would have to plan out a trip. I learned actually, my stepdad one day, not too long ago, before I got married, told me how he would plan out his trip. He was like, yeah, I'm going to go here first, then there first, and then that way I'll be to made a whole circle. And I remember even driving with Kristen, when I would drive her around, I would just be going. Just be going. And then Kristen would be like, well, babe, why are you going there? We can go here. Then, okay, well, then, and so she would try and help me to organize my trip. And so organization flows into every aspect, into everything, even in your thinking. If your thoughts are so unorganized, they're so jumbled, it's like you're always here, then you're running here in your mind, then you're running here in your mind. We have to kind of organize ourselves and get to a place, not to where we're what do they call it, OCD or something like that, but get to a place to where we can say, you know what, okay, I need to start thinking more stable thoughts, stay focused, just jumping from thing to thing, but I'm not completing anything. Let's stay organized and focused in our thoughts. All right, I'm going to finish this thought, this thing, and then move on to here. And that's one of the issues that I had even with writing my book that took me so long, is that my thoughts were never organized. I would always say, okay, I'm just going to write here today. Then I'd get tired of writing there and say, okay, I'm going to come over here and try and write. Organization in your thoughts is key. Organization in your study habits, as you study the Word, as you look at different things. Organization is key. So friends, as we look at the story of the creation, we see how God had everything organized. He had it set in mind. This comes first, this comes second, this comes third, this comes fourth, because without this being done, that can't be done. Friends, we have to learn to set things in order. First things first. What do I need to do first? What do I need to make happen first? Let's take the time, friends, to set things in order in our lives. Friends, this has been day 13 of the 21 Days of Encouragement, the workout series. I want to send a very special shout out to all of you who are listening via Spreaker.com. That's right, you can now catch the workout series on Spreaker. So if you don't want to watch the videos, say you're driving and you just want to listen to it and without having to watch the videos, you can catch this same message, the same word, the same encouragement on Spreaker.com. Why don't you join us there, friends? It's I Am Encouraged Radio. Friends, we love you. You be blessed.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next time.
Let's go.